Welcome back to the Vise Squad. Adam Hortonberry here. Today I'm going to tie up a perch pattern, perch bait fish made out of flashabou, the Fly Life predator fibers, which is kind of similar to the SF fibers, but super fishy. You got the flashabou peeking out. That acts as your tail. The eyes on the particular one we're going to do are going to be these little sticky eyes. This is a 2-aught. We're going to go actually to a 1-aught for the sake of time in the video. But anyway, I'd like to thank the sponsors, Fly Life Company and Anadramas Company. And if you're in need of any outdoor gear, you can find it at the store for the channel at fishingoutdoors.ca. For Canadian, fishingoutdoors.net US. Yeah, without further ado, get to the pattern. Again, you can tie it on several different patterns. This one here is on a bigger hook. It's on a 3-aught Ahrex. I'm just using a Gamakatsu SLS 12 1-aught. Again, we're scaling down for the sake of the video. Get a thread base down. We're gonna start with yellow, and we're gonna start with a pretty good little chunk of it. Fold, trim, throw a little taper into it. You're going to want to taper each side too, but you want your tail to just be a little longer on that. 1, 2, 3. Give it a little distribution if you can. It's a little slick. This material is super slick, so you're going to be using a lot of zap on your reverse ties like this, and your bullet ties. You're going to want to reinforce it with a little zap so it doesn't slip off on you when you're tying in your flashabou, etc. We're going to advance our thread, get our little dubbing comb thing, start at the tips, then comb it out. This is going to act as your tail, your underbelly, and kind of act to help veil your flashabou. For your tail, I'd get 10, 15 to 20 fibers. Taper them out. Tie them in like that. Give them a little even distribution. Trap that down, spread them out, cinch it, clean it up. This first one I like to just get them all back even, nicey nice. Hit it with a little zap, and then advance your thread just a little bit. We're gonna hop into the olive. Same material. All the material base is going to be the Fly Life in 3 different colors. We're going to use olive for the 2-tone, and then we're going to use, I actually want to do a little bit longer of a tail with the olive on this one, so tie it in like that. And a little orange for the belly up front. And you can play with the different densities and what have you of this material. Actually, we're gonna throw the belly on now. So when you're 2-toning this, you're gonna want to whatever you do on both sides, you're gonna want to repeat. And on the belly, you're gonna want to split them so that so you don't have to fight it when you're trying to tie it in. Give it a little taper. So take it with your fingers there and split it around the hook shank a little bit so you don't have to fight it. Preen those fibers back. They'll kind of sit for you too, so you don't have to fight them. Bring that one over. Disperse it with your thumb a little bit so you don't have too much of that thread showing like we do. That should do fine. Give it a nice clean bullet tie. Whoop, slipped off. We're gonna have to hit that with some zap. Thread's acting up on me, hang on. All right. Give it a little comb. And compared to the other two I did, this one's gonna be even more slender because it's on a 1/0, and yeah. It's gonna be a little more sparse, and I want even more of a, like a zoom fluke kind of action to it, because you can see it's, yeah. And we're gonna do some scissor work on it and trim it down even more. But the gist of this is I want it super sparse. Now we're gonna use some fire tiger. And with the one I'm gonna do in this video, I'm actually gonna go heavy on flash. Because when you do your scissor work, you end up trimming a lot of this out. I cut off about I don't know, about 1.5 inches of material ish. Now I'm gonna taper both ends, add that into the mix. Give it 3. Give it a nice. Try to get it around it as much as you can. Oops, too high on that one. If you have any unruly ones that don't want to cooperate, just trim them down a little bit. Olive again. Too much. Trim off a little bit more. We're actually coming to the head, so cut about another inch and some change off of there. Maybe a little bit more actually. Kind of 1, 2, 3. Flash should be caught in there. We're gonna give it a little comb. profile I'm going for is essentially kind of I guess you would say Rapala slender jerkbait. The hook is a little small, but it's all right. We're gonna be using this for largemouth, and the big ones we'll do pike, you know, the Esox family, but doesn't have to be. Smallmouth too, but I think this is a little big for smallies, but I'm sure some watersheds, they'll eat it. We're coming up to the head of this fly, so cinch that. We're gonna start trimming. And we'll get that underside when we get out of the vise. Bring out the hot golden orangey kind of deal. And this is going to kind of act as your core whatever, you know. It's going to look like a lot. I got about 15 strands doubled over and then cut in half again. And there's quite a bit of flash, but I kind of like that. Once it's all colored up, it's gonna add some depth to your pattern. Which is what I like to do in my flies. Is again, it adds the illusion of depth, and you know, it's different colors on the fish and the bait fish. I like to build like a little ramp. You don't have to, but I like to just build a little ramp so it doesn't have as much of a drop off when you're throwing in your final layer here, which we are. We're gonna use olive, and then we're gonna hop into the orange. Now we're gonna cut the olive about that much. We're gonna cut that into roughly thirds to build the head of this pattern. Then we'll grab some orange for the belly and do the same. For the belly of this fly, I'm actually going to use just a slight bit more, just because to help keel it a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's just a little too much. There we go. We're gonna do the belly first. Taper just a little bit. Cinch that. Grab our olive mix. You know, no, we're not. We're gonna do that. You could throw a little winged flash into this, and it'll really freaking pop that head of that fly, but we won't do that today. But a lot of these, especially this style bait fish, is inspired by, like I said before, Bob Popovic's, who's a legend. If you don't have that book, Pop Flies, you need to get it. gonna have to build a little thread dam right here to help push those fibers back, so we don't have to do as much trimming right there on the head of that pattern. And we'll color that white thread too. Let's whip finish that. I think we're all set with that. Here we go. Get a little olive on there. Throw a little red in the bottom. This is unnecessary, but if you want to color them, I like to. Adds a little sunburst effect to it. And then we are going to throw in the barring and then the eyeballs, and then we'll trim it. I like to just space them out first and then go down the sides. I even like to take it all the way down into the flash. And then use the taper side of that Copic if you're using those, because it adds that nice little look to it. And I would definitely peek down into the colors; it will really pop it. Do my side. Try to block your view just a little bit. I think that golden orange really adds it, gives it that real perchy tone. But again, you can do whatever you want. You can add whatever flash you want. You could do rainbow trout variations of this pattern. Whatever you're feeling. Okay, trim the head. And this one I did super slender again. This is like super narrow, but I wanted it to be on this 1/0. If I was using a 2/0 or the bigger ones like I showed you previously, I would definitely make it a little more bulky. But with this particular one, I want it to be more just like you could burn this one, you know, just real fast. A real slender, perchy look for this particular one. Let's add the eye. Then we'll throw a little resin on the head and we're all set. Alright, got some eyes out. We're using the stick-on eye. Then we're gonna throw some resin over top. I'll seal that up. Let's see here. We're just gonna use the loon resin. I was gonna get a thicker one, but this will be fine. This is a loon clear. I have to just do it in stages. That last little air bubble out and cure it. Hit it with a little more trim and we are all set. I don't even think it needs it. Trim a little bit on the side. And yeah, real quick, just want to give another shout out to our sponsors. If you're looking for any outdoorsy stuff this time of year for your holiday needs, check out the links listed below. And we appreciate your support very much. If you have any questions about this pattern or any of the other ones I tie, hit me up on social media or comment the videos and we will get those answered for you. But this pattern, super fishy, super cool product from that company, Fly Life. Give them some love, buy a couple packs, buy some hooks, try it out. Let me know how it works. Have a good one.